functions in SQL. Single row functions, that too we will be discussing here. So now when we talk about an SQL function, it does has an input, it does have some parameters called as an arguments, and finally it is going to display the answer. So SQL function, it is going to have an arguments and it is going to have some function prototype, and then it is displaying the value. Fine. Functions, they are classified into one, we call it as single row functions. Two, we are going to have multiple row functions. So if we are going to apply on a single row, so if I am going to have this is row 1, row 2, and another one we are going to have some row 3. Now if a single row, I can apply it on only row 1, and it can be row 1, row 2, row 3, on multiple ways we are going to happen. So single row functions, they are going to manipulate the data, they get an arguments and they have written only one value, and they can be nested, so they can modify the data, etc. So there are some examples of single row functions, categories of a single row function. The first category was character, second was they work with number, third they work with date, four with some conversions, and fifth one was a general way of representing the single row functions. So now we will be in detail looking at into what is character examples, what are number examples, what are date examples, conversion examples, and general examples. So now let us look into the first set called as the character functions. So character functions, it is again predefined into case, and second one, it is with manipulation of a functions. So I want to display the characters in a lower case, then we will be using the lower case function. We want to display the content into an uppercase, then we will be calling it as an uppercase letters. So only the initial character should be uppercase, and remaining these will be in the lower case. Then we are going to put this in a model called as an init, and if we want to concatenate two or more content, then we are going to use a concatenate operation. We want to find some substring, I want to have it from fourth location of a value, so then we will be using the substring, and I want to identify how much length that attribute is going to have. It displays the length. We will check whether in string such an element exists or not, at what position it is going to exist, position where the search character exists. So we need to identify. For that we are going to use at what position it is going to take up. So if I put this 4 stars, and then if I'm going to write 1000 here, now you can see putting the stars at the beginning, we call it as left trim, and if I'm going to put the same stars at the end, aim stars at the end, then we call it as an R pad. So if you want to remove a character in a string, then we are going to use this trim here and replace the entire set also. We can work it out with the character operations. So first of all, let us see with the case manipulation functions here. So now you can see SQL curse, and now you are going to mention it as lower here. So all the characters, so now you can see all characters are lower at this point. Then we are going to have this upper here, then we mentioned all the characters are going to be in an uppercase. So init character, now you can see S, Q, L, all are uppercase. This is bringing as S. Then course, then it is going to have C as a uppercase letter. So that is how a init character is going to take up. So these are all the case conversion functions. So init, it gives in that specific paragraph, in the specified word, only the first character is going to be displayed as an init character here. So now there is another way of looking at into the things. So here you can see here lower of last name. So we need to have an exact match, and that too the lower of cases of the uh, the last name of an employee is Higgins. So now we should understand that the employee Higgins was in a lowercase letter. So that is the reason why we are able to put this last name as Higgins, and it is going to be searched as only one character is available. Now, quite a bit interesting functions in this character manipulation was we need to join hello with world here. So now you can see hello with world, and there is no pipe, there is no separation here. The reason was we didn't had an empty space. So if you want an empty space, again you have to put a comma and fill up the space, and then you have to concatenate the three, then we will be getting the empty space. So here between hello and word, we need to merge these two things into a common word. So that's why we call it as concat. Next comes the substring. So in this substring, we need to get it from the first position and up to what position you need to get. From the first position and up to what position you need to get. So here we are going to have hello here. So hello, it is first position, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So up to fifth position it is going to be displayed. Next comes the how much the length of a string. So length of a string is going to be displayed. So hello world, it is going to occupy 10 characters at this point. Next one, we need to search at what position at what position W is. We need to search. That is also, it displays only the first occurrence. It is display only the first occurrence. It will not display the second occurrence. It will check the first occurrence of the value. First occurrence of the value W. It is located at the sixth position. It is going to be located at the sixth position. Assume there was a salary attribute and it is occupying 10 cells. So how much value of the salary it should be displayed, but unused characters, unused spaces must be replaced with asterisk here. Unused characters must be replaced with asterisk. So it can be towards the left side or it can be towards the right side. That is what we call it as L pad, and that we call it as an R pad. Next comes, we don't want to use H in the string. That is, we want to say remove H character from hello world. So if such is a thing we want, then we are going to use trim. We are going to use a trim function. So trim function, it is removing the H character at this point. So we are going to use the manipulation function here. So we are concatenating first name and last name. We merge this, and after merging this, we are going to give a name. So now you can see here Ellen and Abel. Ellen is the first name, Abel is the last name, but both are going to be concatenated. Next comes the length of the last name. So Abel was 4, Taylor was 6, Grant was 5, Faye was 3. So now you mean to say this is the length of the characters, and then you are searching when the in the last name at what position A is going to be there. So in Abel it can't be found the smaller letter. Then it is going to check for the smaller letter in the Tyler. So Tyler TA. So it is A is going to be found. A is going to be found at second character, and then Grant. So ZRANT. Now A it is going to be found at the third position. Then we are going to say FAY. Faye it is going to be found at the second position. This second position we are going to have. But in ABEL, ABA is uppercase. A is uppercase, so this is not found. So A is not going to be taken. So that is why we mentioned here as a 0th position. So similarly, there are second category of a single row functions. We call them as number functions. So now you can see here 45.926 comma 2. So we need to have only two positions. We need to have only two positions. Now I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this was the range. Now 6 was at this position and it is towards 10. It is towards 10. Therefore, 6 to be rounded to upper position. Therefore, we are going to call it as 45.93. So 45.926, we need to have only two positions. We don't need 6. So 6th has to be rounded, that 2 to the two positions, and 6 it is towards the higher end. So that is the reason why we call it as 45.93. The same we are going to call it as an opposite way. So if it is 45.926 comma 2, and if we are going to use a trunk value, so trunk value, it goes to the lower side. It is going to move to the lower side. So obviously it looks up towards the um, value which is towards the left hand side, and when we are going to use a round, it is going to see that it moves to the upper hand side there. So for that we are going to have 45.92. And now you have a modulo operation. In modulo operation, you are going to divide this value by 15, and now you get this 100. This 100 we are going to call it as a remainder, and remainder we are going to get this as a modulo function. So this is regarding round, trunk, and mod here. So there is interesting aspect. What is 45.923 doing with 0? What is 45.923 doing with 0? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then what you told, 45.923 comma 0, 0, it is taking up with this position, that is 45.9. So 9 it is towards at the right hand side, therefore the value was 46. So this 46 we are going to put into this value. Next comes 45.923 comma minus 1. So it is moving to the range. So that means it is 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Now what was it showing? It is showing 45.9. So it is towards 40, 41, 42, 43 up to 50. Therefore 45.9, the nearest value was 50. So that is the reason why we moved the 50 to the last position. So 45.9, then it is nearer to 50. That is the reason why we are going to get this as a 50 here. So that is all regarding the trunk. And when we are going to call here as a trunk, so again trunk, it is going to pull it up towards the left side. Trunk, it is going to pull it up with the left side, 45.923. Then if it is minus 1, it is gone to 40, and if it is minus 2, it is moving to the edge, to the root, whatever we call, that is, it is moving to the 0th aspect. But when we are going to say 45.923 comma 2, so 2 indicates 45.92. So that is why the reason is 45.92, that is towards the lower edge. But when we are going to say it is 45.923 here, now then 45.923, it is towards the lower end. So that is the reason why we got this as a 45. So modulo we discussed, and the other interesting thing was how to work with dates. So in SQL, the date functions was dd, month, and year. So date, month, and year. So that was the default. But anyhow, Oracle database, it is going to store the values in the format of century, year, month, day, hours, and minutes and seconds. So this is what we call as a timestamp. So when we discuss a word called as a timestamp, we mention it with year, month, date, hours, minutes, and seconds, etc. So that we worked with this timestamps, etc. So now you can see here, we want to display the last name, we want to have a hire date, and that too for the employees which are going to start with Z. So now you can see that Grant and Gates. So the names are going to be started with the uppercase Z. So as far as date is going to be concerned, it is purely by default, it takes it from the system date. So whatever system date it is taking up, the laptop or a desktop or a mobile is showing, the same date will be taken up. That is what we are going to call it as a system date here. So in a date operation, we can make some arithmetic operations. That is the system date minus hire date. That is, assume that today's date is some 18/6/21, and if I am joined this organization in some 2010. So what was, if I am going to say 1/1/2020. So now how many weeks are going to be there? I want to display it. So we can make an arithmetic operation. So that is what we are going to do. Sysdate minus hire date and how many weeks it has went. So in this model, if we can do, then we call those such operations as an arithmetic operations. So while working with arithmetic operations, it can take up the number of months between first day and last day. We can add months, we can add day. So if it is 18/6/21, and if I can add next day 1, we call it as next day. If I can say last day, then it is going to give up this last day of the month, that it is showing up 36/21 last day. Similarly, we can work round and trunk operations on the dates also. So now here you can see months between. So we can take the first date, we can take the second date. So how many months are there between September 25 to January 94? So there are around 19 months are going to be there. Similarly, we can add number of months. So January, it is 1. Then you are going to add 6. So 1 plus 6 is equals to 7. 7 we are going to call here as a July. So we can add months, we can count the number of months between first and second. And third one, we are going to say, if today, what will be the next day? So that to next Friday when you want to find. So it is going to give up the next Friday's date. And here you can see today's date was 1st February 1995. So what was the last day? So it is the previous day. It is giving 28 February 1995. So similarly, as we made round and trunk functions on numeric operators, we can also make round and trunk functions on the date functions also. So you can see here the 25th July 95 was here. So now if I'm going to make a round, so it is 1 to 31st. So if I'm going to make the July month, it is 1 to 31st. So now if I'm going to make a round operation, it goes to the highest value, that is 31st, and moves to the next month, that is 1st August. Similarly for the year. So year it was 95, and then where did it took? It took to the 1st January 96. That is January it is going to take up. Similarly, you can see the opposite way of trunk. So it is bringing up to the lower side. So trunk it moves to the lower side, and round, yeah, it is pushing up to the upper edge. So that was the caretaking we should understand when we work with the date functions. So that is all regarding the single row functions